I've always been really passionate about journaling. I've done it from when I was young, but what was really incredible is how I used it in my business. So I ran a fashion brand for 15 years, and being a solo entrepreneur can be, tricky and have its ups and its downs. But one of the things that really helped me through was journaling, taking the time to stop, think, feel, process. And then it helped me find my flow. It helped me find my rhythm from reading books and learning new things and applying. How does this actually apply to my life? And that business sadly came to an end during lockdown, and I was transitioning. And the more that I was helping people, I found myself in these Zoom rooms, and all I could see was the top of people's heads because they were writing. They were either writing because I was coaching them through writing or because they were journaling. And I would find myself asking these big, powerful questions, which would help people to think and to process. So then I started to take it to wider groups, into organizations, and even into companies. And what I found is this simple tool that little girls used to use when they were little, keeping a diary, was actually a really powerful, transformational tool that, if used correctly, could really help you go from spaghetti brain to clarity to transformation. And that's why I do the journaling experience. So why journaling as opposed to therapy? I see journaling as the thing that you use, the tool that you use before you maybe even need to get to therapy. This is the thing that you use to kind of keep yourself going. This is where you do the emotional processing. You get real-time feedback, real-time reflection, real-time prompts, bespoke to the actual situation that's in front of you. You can come in one way and literally leave transformed. I remember one experience where we were doing a corporate journaling experience in Chicago, and I was doing it alongside a poet. And this was a bespoke journaling experience focused on healing racism because there was so much going on within this organization. And so we took the time out to set the scene, help people understand what journaling was and what we were going to be doing. The poet then led us into different creative expressions around the topic at hand, which was racism. It was a really delicate topic, but what was incredible is by the end of the journaling experience, one of the guys in the room realized how much he had faced as one of the only Black men within the organization and how much he had internalized. And it was really powerful to see the empathy amongst the rest of the team, and it made a massive difference with the organization and for him as an individual as well. I would say the key takeaway in that session was the power for that man to be able to stop and pause and write, but not just in a silo on his own, but actually together with his team. And in the same moment, in the same breath, be able to share, actually, this is where I'm hurting and this is how this has affected me, and to feel the empathy in the room. It was a really, really powerful session. So I ran my bespoke women's clergy brand for 15 years, had so much fun running that business. And throughout the business, no matter what was going on, I was always journaling, capturing notes, writing things that would one day be in this book that I was going to write one day. And as I began to collate all of these notes from my journal, that was the beginning of my book. And once I had published the book, people started asking me, Camille, how were you able to write this book? And I had to say it was from my journals and my journaling. So many lessons, so many thoughts, so many keys. And at that point was when people were like, well, how do you journal? I started journaling and I stopped, or I got into the habit and I fell off. How do I stay consistent? How do I journal? And I kept being faced with this question. And because of how much it's helped me to grow, to be able to share my lessons, I know that inside of everyone else there are lessons. There are so many things that people are gleaning, but you miss them because you don't take the time to stop and capture them. So for me, this is the importance of journaling.